Hello. Peggy, welcome.
Hi.
We are here. Peg is here with Brady. Maybe. No Brady.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and start. Can you hear me okay, Peggy? Awesome. All right. Happy Thursday, 4 o'clock in yoga. Happy to be here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the beautiful flowers. Peggy, I'm sorry you can't smell them, but they are Chinese peony and they smell and they look amazing. So now I know what I need to get me in my garden. I can save some water with this, and then I'm gonna get beside hydrangea where I'm gonna waste the water because I need to get my garden in order for next year. All right, so today we're gonna do yin yoga for the neck, hips, and low back. And maybe we'll touch on other areas as we do those areas as well. And also I wanna announce you that I will be teaching this Saturday for Danny at 8 and 9:30. In the 9:30 class, I wanted opening up to anybody that wants to bring their friends. They're invited for free because it's solar eclipse that afternoon, that evening. Actually, the solar eclipse is a sunset. So it's a good time to celebrate, to kind of increase our energy because we get a lot more power from this energy of the eclipse. So maybe we can step into the next Taurus day, the new moon, which comes Sunday. So also Sunday is available for anybody that wants to bring friends for free, only in person. It's not for online though. And you can bring anybody you want to. They don't even have to sign up, just show up and I'll take care of them here. And Sunday it's at 9 o'clock. And that is to celebrate the new moon in Taurus. Taurus has a lot of stability, a lot of strength, a lot of power. So we need to stabilize our footing into the next month, into the next season. So we're gonna do that. So today I want to start with gently getting into our bodies. As you sit cross-legged, see how comfortable that feels for you. If it pulls you in any way or shape, go ahead and sit on a blanket or on that small bolster to have some support. And take a moment to drop into your body, just feeling, sensing, acknowledging what you are right now. Just see how things feel. What do you need to address today? What messages are you getting from your body? And take a scan from head to feet. Just noticing the temples, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Just checking in, saying hello to every body part. Check your rib cage, the soft area below the rib cage. Hips and pelvis, sit bones. And let them relax as you scan through. Just acknowledge them, release them, let them go. Check into your knees, ankles and feet. Sending them your compassion, your understanding, your love. Just trying to connect deeply with your body in this practice of yin yoga. We get a chance to be with our bodies for 1 full hour. And knowing that not everybody gets this chance, we are grateful that we are able to do this, to take time away from our lives. and to really be with ourselves. Most of the day, as most humans these days, we are out in the world sharing and giving and producing, and we never have enough time to receive, to allow, to breathe, to take in. So it's a great time that we can do this together. Make an intention for your practice. It can be simply to be with your breath, to be with your body, to heal, to transform, to transmute something in your energy, in your body, in your system. And drop that intention from your mind into your heart and seal it there for the practice. Remembering to use the mindfulness, the presence, the awareness, and also the loving kindness and compassion of your own heart towards yourself. All right. So sitting here, we're gonna simply turn the head to the right, keeping the spine tall, shoulders relaxed. Hands can be on the knees or on your lap. So we're gonna turn the head looking over the right shoulder, keeping the spine as tall as you're able and as aligned with the neck as you're able. And the head sits on top of the neck in that cervical vertebrae that's called the atlas that holds the head, just like the atlas in the mythology, the Greek mythology, holds the planet in its hands. So you imagine that atlas vertebrae at the top of the neck, and your head sits right on top of that. As you breathe, relax any tension you find, and keep that gaze focused back so you can use the eye muscles for peripheral vision. As we stretch here, we also release the muscles of the neck, the scalenes, and the SCM, this big muscle that you can see when you turn your head, it sticks out. Sometimes this muscle is very tense and very stiff. So if you feel like you want to add something to this practice, you can actually bring your right hand and massage this muscle that's sticking out. You can squeeze it as you go from bottom to top, from the origin to the insertion, just kind of releasing it. You notice the tension below the skull at the base of the neck. Those are tense muscles that can be relaxed now, so we don't get those tension headaches. We allow the energy to flow, the oxygen to flow into the brain through these channels, through these meridians and circulatory vessels. Because everything in this universe works in a circular pattern. Everything flows in a circle. The life comes and goes, the plants come and go, the oxygen, the breath comes and goes in a cycle, in a circle. So same, this energy in the body has to travel from the brain to the body and then from the body to the brain. Creating an oval or a circle, it just does not have a linear pattern. It doesn't have a beginning and an end. It recirculates back into us. So as we open these channels, we have good communication from the brain to the body. And that's about only 20% of stimuli or impulses have to be transmitted from the brain to the body. And vice versa is most important. We send impulses, information from the body to the brain at about 80% of the time. So the neck is the pathway to the brain, or to the body. So it's very important to keep the neck flexible, open, and healthy. And now we'll gently come on back to center. Take a moment and see how the neck feels. Deepen the breath, relax the shoulders. And as you exhale, turn the head to the left, keeping the chin neutral, just looking back to the left side the best you can, without forcing, just dropping that gaze back behind you. Keeping the spine tall and aligned, feeling those vertebrae stack on top of each other. And just noticing again the biggest vertebrae at the top of the neck, right below the skull, holding your head in place like somebody's holding a ball in his hands. Keep the breath flowing naturally. And maybe if you feel you need a deeper release, you can inhale deeper, bring more energy into that part of the body. And exhale, releasing slowly and fully, letting that tension be released. And keep the breath flowing also in a circular pattern, inhaling in, exhaling out. Just very natural flow, 50-50. Inhalation is half of the time, exhalation half of the time. Trying to keep the spine centered, the hips and the shoulders on top of each other, and just the head is moved. Lengthening through the back of the neck, through all the vertebrae, stacking them like they are a string of beads. Imagine a mala that has about 8 beads on it, very big beads, and they all stack on top of each other. They're flexible and pliable enough so you can move freely. They're not stiff. Two more breaths here, guys. All right, bring it back to center. Switch the legs around, just in case they got tired sitting in that position. Now we're gonna do a little trick for the vagus nerve. We're gonna keep the gaze, the nose and the head forward, not only bring the gaze to the right. So look to your right, but your head doesn't move. This is working directly on the vagus nerve. So make sure you see something on your right side without moving your head. Both eyes are looking to the right. And hold the gaze there. This may trigger some response from the body, some emotional release, some memories may be released, or they may come back. If that happens, breathe deeper. You may get a yawn, you may get a sigh. It's just some energy needed to be released. And the vagus nerve is good to be accessed and reset because it does control the parasympathetic nervous system. Because we get so much in sympathetic response, we're busy, we're just tired, we're stressed. So we need to bring it down using the parasympathetic, which is rest, to slow down, digest, sleep. So that's what we're doing now. And now inhale, bring it back to center. Now just to test this, see if it did anything, we're gonna turn the head back to the right and notice if you can go further this time. Because usually where the eyes goes, the head or the body can go as well. And second to that, we relax the body. So when we're relaxed, we can stretch, we are more flexible, more pliable, more flowing. So you may notice that you can turn your head a lot more than the first time. All right, come back to center. And let's do that trick on the left side. Head stays forward, just the gaze goes to the left. Hold that for about 30 seconds. If you get a twitch in the eye or you feel a little bit foggy on that side, there's something you have to deal with on that side of your brain, of your aura. Maybe something you haven't processed from the past, even from yesterday or for 10 years ago. So stick with that and breathe through it and you will clear. Maybe you need some repetition of this exercise if it doesn't clear right away. Some of those things are embedded very deeply. Okay, inhale back to center. And now let's test this left side. Keep the chin neutral and exhale. Turn to the left and see how far you can go. Further than before, maybe you see over your shoulder, maybe you see all the way behind you. Great, so anytime you have a stiff neck, it's easier to go into this vagus nerve reset first instead of forcing the neck to stretch left to right. You just want to get it more relaxed and more flowing by doing the vagus nerve reset. All right, so let's release from here. That was our neck area, and we're gonna come to a child's pose with the right knee on the floor and the left leg out. It's like a half child's pose. We're gonna stretch back, sitting down over that right heel, and the left leg stays out to the side. All right, so here it's a half child's pose, sitting down and reaching further with the arms. And the left leg is open to the side. If this is too much for the left side, you can put your small bolster or your block underneath your knee, just so you don't force it too much. Or you can even bend the knee a little bit and let it do less of a stretch, just to see how it feels there, and then you can lengthen the leg out. So you can have any variation here. And your elbows can be forward on the floor or on the block. Take some deep, long breaths. Observe how the body changes. Where do you feel an unsettling feeling? Where do you feel the most intense sensation? Just go there and find out what's going on. Maybe it's in the groin on the right side. Maybe it's the right knee. Or maybe it's the left inner groin and lymphatic system. Maybe it's your hip flexors on that left side. Just connect with that intensity and breathe through it so you can change it, you can remove it, you can reset it. Breathing in long for 4 counts. Have a little pause for 2 counts. And then exhale for 6 counts. As you lengthen the exhalation, you're releasing further and deeper. So let the breath help you out. Yoga, it's about the breath. It's about pranayama. And the way we use the breath is going to make a difference in how we feel. The longer the exhale, the more relaxed your body gets, and the more clear your mind becomes. The emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, they all benefit from the breath. Nice. Use your props and see how you feel. If you feel you can open more, walk that right foot further out towards your elbow. not back, but forward. You know, see where you are. It's very nice. You can almost have it at 90 degrees if your hips allow, but it doesn't have to be in a certain way. Just see how your body wants to do it. Nice. And now if you want to walk the hands to the right a little bit, we're going to open that left side a little bit more into the torso, into the hip and the top of the hip and below the rib cage. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Oh, some of you have different legs. I said right because of Itzel. So you're going to go away from, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Stay there. So you want to go away from that long leg, go to the other side. So you would go to the left, Kim, because everybody's in different positions. Jane, how are you doing? So you want to go to the right, you're good. Two more breaths here, and then we switch sides. And even the small bolster works to kind of place it under your knees, Ravati. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna inhale and bring it back. Stretch back a little bit and release that left leg. Bring it from whichever leg you had out, bring it in. And now drop back towards your heels into the middle, just for a quick child's pose to reset both sides before we do the other side. So take 2 breaths here, just noticing any differences between the two sides. One side is really happy, really open, really flowing, and the other side is a little jealous, right? So now we're gonna do the other side. Lift off a little bit and extend your opposite leg out. In my case, would be the right leg out. And then sink back over that left heel. And lay the arms stretch in the front. See what you want to have them on a bolster, on a block. And forehead can drop towards the floor or the block as well. The right knee can be bent at first. And then as it starts to release, you can lengthen it. And connect with the breath. Connect with that deepest sensation. And the intention would be to breathe in order to open up space in this right side of the body. In the groin, in the hip flexor. The lymphatic vessels are right here in the groin as well. The spleen meridian inside the leg. And let also your heart melt towards the floor. So we create this heart melting pose as well. Very nice to feel that gentle drop of the chest. Releasing, softening, opening, surrendering to the mat. Because this in yoga, it's about letting go, about releasing, about being and not doing, transforming, transmuting, receiving and allowing, and generally surrendering to the present moment. And it doesn't matter where you are where you need to be right now. It's not about how the pose looks, how there's a end you need to get to. There's no deadline, there's no destination, just the process, the journey. And now let's walk the hands away from that extended legs. Nice. Breathe into the body, just focus inside and connect and stay in the breath's rhythm. If you feel your breath gets blocked or it slows down, it's okay. But if it gets to be stopped, that's not okay. So penetrate a little deeper into the breath or exhale fully and come back into that flow, into that rhythm of your own body, of your own life. Okay, one more breath here. Come on in with the hands into the center. And bring that knee back in. And stretch back to a full chest pose for 2 breaths to reset the body. Inhale now, bring it back to center. And we come lengthwise on the mat. And we're opening the knees wide. And we'll do the saddle pose. Imagine you're on a horse. So knees are open, feet go further out than the knees. And then walk your body forward on this block or bolster, whatever you have. And drop your hips over the knees. You want to have them aligned with the knees. And just see how open you can be here. If you're staying sideways on your mat, is best. If you're on the floor, you may have your knees slide open more than you want. So just be careful. All right, so get any help under your knees that you need. Yes, that's it. And walk your elbows out. Knees and hips stay level. You're gonna let this inner thighs, this groin, this lymphatic vessels to open up. It's very good for the pelvic floor as well. For our 2 lower chakras. Nice, very good. And if you feel like you want to get the head relaxed, get a block and rest your forehead on the block so you don't tense up the neck. So resting on something is good. And notice where the deepest sensation would be in your body. And try and get the toes out a little bit just to feel that they're further out than the knees, like a frog. Nice. Deepen the breaths. Have that pause between the inhale and the exhale to let the body find stillness. And then as you exhale, let that deep and long release happen. Let go of any stagnation, any negative emotions we hold in this area. We protect this area a lot, especially as women. Just let that surrender into the earth, whatever negativity you have in this area, any emotions, any blockages, anything that holds you back, takes your freedom away, release it. Through the out breath, have that deep release and be open to the process of change, of transformation, transmutation of energy. All right, let's gently come out of that. First, bring the feet closer together. Curl the toes under, press into the hands, and lift back up. Now we're gonna sit back on the heels a little bit. Just from where you are now, keeping the knees a little open, if that's okay for you. Your knees may not like this one. All right, just sit up tall and hands to the knees, lift the chest and just look up slightly. And you can even walk the hands back and open a little bit more. We're just holding here 2 more breaths to open up the front chakra system before we go into another forward pose. Inhale and bring it back. Okay, we will continue with bound angle. We're gonna bring the feet together. Sit bones on the floor. And as we exhale, we're gonna reach forward. And you can even get your bolster here to rest your head on if you feel you need something to rest on. Or you can exhale and let the elbows come in the inner knees and let your head drop towards your feet. Okay. Now we're opening up that low back area, the kidneys and adrenals. And we lengthen all the spine from tailbone to crown. We still have the spleen meridian active, the hip flexors a little bit on the inside. Allow your head and face be relaxed. And breathe into that lumbar spine. Imagine this lumbar vertebrae number 4 and 5. It's usually the most compressed area in the lumbar spine. Because of sitting posture, it gets totally compressed. Now we get a chance to open up that area to let those vertebrae pull apart and have some flow of fluid and energy between them and around them. And then imagine your kidneys, or kidney if you just have one. It's okay if you have just one. They usually take the load for the other kidney as well. And the adrenal glands would be on top of the kidneys. Let's balance our cortisol level in the bloodstream by relaxing the kidneys and adrenals. So when we are stressed, nothing in the body functions right. It impacts our immune system, our circulation, our heart, our nervous system, our ability to produce, to create, and so forth. So bringing the stress down helps everything else. Surrender, let go. Let go of doing, just being. Be the being you are supposed to be. Because first, we are a human being, not a human doing. So let's receive that and surrender into that. 2 more long, deep breaths. With each exhalation, surrender a little bit further. Let go a little bit more. Let go and relax. And one thing we have to let go as humans is to let go of control. We like everything to be just right, to be this way or the other way. We always have opinions and judgments. We need to let go of all of that, just for now at least. That will free up your system greatly. When we let go of any ideas, of any preconceived notions of how this and that should be or could be or would be, the guessing game of the mind, the planning, being in the past or stepping into the future for far too long, takes away from the present moment. All right, inhale and gently come on up. Now we're going to continue into the hips with the left leg underneath, maybe it doesn't want to go underneath too much, and this other leg across the way. So we're going to create a shoelace pose. It's going to look like a shoelace, or maybe it's going to look just in front of the knee. And then we lean forward a little bit. Again, if we need some support here, get your bolster in front and rest your head on it. Or you can just lean forward and maybe your chin drops to the knee, depending where you are, doesn't matter. So we're trying to keep the hips centered. And no matter where this top leg goes, we're gonna go from there and just lean a little bit. And if you find you're close enough to your knee, get a block on top of the knee and rest your forehead on the knee, on the block. Okay. Yeah, perfect. And just let the spine lengthen as you have that block under the head. You can just allow everything to be relaxed. And notice your hips, especially that top hip is gonna do most of the work. It's that piriformis, the pathway for the sciatic nerve, and the TFL, tensor fascia latae, is gonna open up in the side of the hip. And now reconnect with the breath. And just let this pose do its magic as we allow the time to lapse. So in yin yoga, the 3 principles would be to find the shape you want to be in, find stillness in the pose, find your breath, and let the time take effect. This is the time to have a one-on-one conversation with your hip. What messages do you get? What impressions do you receive? How does your hip feel? What is its energy right now? Is it cloudy? Is it shady? Is it bright? Is it sunny? Is it open or closed? Know that you can change it just by breathing and being aware. Use the breath to release. Lengthen the exhalation. Inhale now and slowly come on up. And now we will switch sides. So that right leg is gonna drop down and the left leg comes on top. This side may be a different story. It will tell you a totally different story. All right, and see how you feel and then slightly lean forward. Use your props, see what feels good. And just notice the hips. What is it that keeps your hips so tight? It could be energetic, it could be emotional, it could be physical, or all of those mixed up. As we open this pathway through the piriformis, is the sciatic nerve that travels through this pathway. So we enhance the energy of the sciatic nerve, which is the life nerve in the body. If we don't have the sciatic nerve alive and well, we cannot move our legs. So we are alive and well when we can walk and move, and so be thankful for this sciatic nerve pathway and for the sciatic nerve itself, for the piriformis, this tiny muscle that when it gets contracted, it constricts the sciatic nerve and then we get sciatic pain. So we're opening up this pathway now to prevent any struggles, any trouble in this area. Inhale and start to come out of the pose. All right. Last pose before we rest. We're going to be on our side. Let's start on the left side first. All right, this is going to be laying down on our side. So right hand is on the floor for support because we're going to slide the left arm behind us. So left arm goes a shoulder height behind you, then drop the chin to the floor and ear to the floor, chin to the chest rather, a little bit tucked in. And then the legs are slightly bent. Now we can add this right leg. We're gonna step the right foot behind the left knee so the knee can reach towards the sky, but that may be more challenging today. So maybe do a little bit or just do the top body. And then if you still feel okay here and you want more, you can bring the right arm up and then behind the waist to open the shoulder as well on the right side. Okay, nice, yeah. Yep, that's it. Good. So see if that bottom arm can go behind you at shoulder height, extending out of the shoulder. Gravity. Is this arm able to go behind you? Put this right hand back on the floor here, lift off on the hand, lift off more and slide this arm behind you like that. Yeah, extend it out like that. Yeah, okay. Now you do the rest. You do the leg. Awesome. And see what the right arm wants to do, the top one. Yeah. Okay, good. Nice. Bring the chin a little bit towards the chest so you don't overdo the cervical vertebrae in the back end. Nice. Kim, feeling okay there? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, nice. And take a few breaths here. This opens up both shoulders and the hip. And with time, maybe you start to bend that knee and step the foot on the floor behind you just a little bit. Yeah, give it some intention. It doesn't matter how much. Just really activating that right side. Good. So that arm is a shoulder height behind you. It's not down by the body. Just to make sure you guys have it right. Perfect. If it's too much, back off from one of the position, take one of them away, because you still want to be able to breathe comfortably and enjoy. Inhale, bring that right hand back to the floor. Bring that knee back to the other knee. Press to the right hand and lift back up. And now lay on your right side to do the opposite position. So left hand presses on the floor. Slide your right arm behind you. Bring that chin towards the chest and ear to the floor. And bring the left foot to stomp behind the right. And see if you want the arm to move back behind you as well, or maybe not yet. Maybe you want to take it step by step. Nice. This opens up our groin, lymphatic system, and the second chakra for creation, creativity, relational center. Shooting energy through that knee, down into the groin, down into the navel point. So it travels through the second chakra as well. So feel all that area energized and vibrating, and imagine this area as being centered, balanced, energized, and complete. Notice how you feel and notice where you notice blockages. And breathe through them or ease up the pose a little bit so they don't feel as intense. And as the breath travels to those areas, they will release and let go more and more and more. All right, now let's go ahead and release that arm, bring it back to the front. And then drop the knee. Stay here on your side for a bit with the knees together. Deep breath in, exhale, relax. Inhale, press into the hand and lift off. And turn around on your backs now. For the last pose, you can get your body comfortable, maybe covering your legs with your blanket if you need it. And we're gonna lay down with the knees bent. So feet go to the edges of the mat and the knees are together. So our low back is supported on the floor. And we connect the hands below the navel. At this point of the prana, the chi collects here in the second chakra below the navel. So we will work on these pranic breaths or somatic breaths, which means we breathe directly into the belly. So imagine that you're breathing directly into this center below the navel point. into the prana, the internal prana, that we get to gather up and store here. Breathe in through the navel point, in that area below the navel. So as you breathe in, allow the belly to expand into your hands. As you breathe out, let it sink and squeeze down towards the spine. Inhalation increases the prana. Exhalation releases the old prana. Squeeze the navel, squeeze more, let it all go. And then you're empty. Let the relaxation flow in the body as the inhalation comes back in. Receiving fully, charging up the prana field. And this is also the area that's called the sea of emotions. It's just a lot of water energy here. It's very fluid. It can be transmuted and changed very easily just with the intention of the mind in our positive thoughts and our breath's energy. This area is for creation and creativity. As women, we create in this center. And then we also have the power to connect with other people. It's the relational center. We all want to improve our relations. First and foremost with ourselves. And as we improve that relationship with ourselves, we can improve all the other relationships in the world. With our loved ones, children and husbands and wives. But first we have to build the relationship with ourselves and strengthen it. So let's take 6 connected breaths into the pranic center. All together, inhale through this point below the navel. Let the navel rise. Hold the breath. And exhale, squeeze the navel, release any stagnant energy out. And inhale again, breathing in that energy, that prana force. And exhale, let it go. Let your body be, let it melt into the earth. Let go of any stagnation, of any negative emotions, any blockages you may find still. And let the breath flow freely into this lower center of prana. Let go of the body, let go of the mind. Just be the breath. See how it feels to simply be the energy of life. You are the energy of life. You are life itself. Continue to mindfully breathe in the prana center, storing, collecting energy for later use. When you get tired or tense or overwhelmed, you can remember this extra storage of prana you have. Slowly and gently start to bring the awareness back to the room, stretching the arms overhead, opening the eyes. Notice how you feel as you move. Bring your knees to one side or hug them to the chest, waking up the spine. Slowly and gently coming back, gradually, smoothly, with kindness, with metta. So, in a loving way, showing yourself love and compassion. Come on up to sit when you are ready. Just take notice. How does your body feel? Get in touch with yourself, with your body, with your mind. Notice where you are. And take a moment to be grateful for your practice, for that you showed up to your practice, for that we share this beautiful yoga together. I am grateful for you and for the energy. Namaste. Have a good evening. Enjoy. Hope to see you soon, Saturday.